You might wonder whether flow and mindfulness are the same thing. And I can already spoiler that they're not. In this video, I'll explain the similarities and differences between flow and mindfulness and what's worth pursuing to reach peak productivity. Hey there, I'm happy to have you here for today's video, which will be about the flow state and how it is similar to or different from mindfulness. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is that every now and then people I chat with about flow say things like, oh yeah, flow, that's when you're in the here and now, right? Or yeah, I like flow, I also meditate a lot. So I feel these terms are sometimes used interchangeably, but actually, it's worth digging a bit deeper and disentangling these two terms. So let's dive right in. Okay, so mindfulness is generally defined as the mental state of being aware of the present moment. Many people practice mindfulness meditation to improve on that skill, but it can also be a lifestyle. Being mindful with whatever you're doing, cooking, working, cycling, walking, anything. Flow, on the other hand, is this mental state where you are so immersed in a certain activity that it feels effortless and fun. You perform at your peak and feel fantastic afterwards. At first, they might seem quite similar. Both have to do with focus on the present moment, both require a form of self-regulation, and even on a neurological level, we see that both people in flow and experienced meditators show less activation in the prefrontal cortex, which is, for example, responsible for attention control and self-regulation. But there are also perhaps subtle but important differences. First fun fact, there are studies indicating that when regularly practicing mindfulness meditation, your sense of time improves. During flow, however, you completely lose your sense of time, so that a few hours can feel like 15 minutes or so. Or maybe it slows down or stands still. That's because the brain areas responsible for time perception, that are also located in the prefrontal cortex, are downregulated during flow. You really devote your entire mental capacities to the activity that you're engaging in. Apart from that, mindfulness is about observation and acceptance. You try to not control whatever you're experiencing in a given moment. This is not the case for flow, though. During flow, you feel a sense of control. Every thought and every action seems to flow effortlessly, and you feel engaged and active. It's a much more intuitive and automatic process. If you've heard of the dual process theories, you probably know that there's a rational and conscious thinking pathway, which is rather slow because we take the time to think things through, to weigh arguments, collect information, and so on. And then there's a quick and intuitive pathway that is rather subconscious. Flow can be understood as a state of intuitive thinking and acting, during which thought and movement become so automatic that it feels like one merges with the activity itself. Some describe mindfulness as a pre-stage of flow. In both processes, you distance yourself from the ego, but in different ways. If you're mindful, you slip into the role of the observer, and that includes your own feelings and thoughts. In flow, on the other hand, you go one step further. You lose self-consciousness for the moment and thereby block out any irrelevant thoughts or feelings. The same seems to be true for concentration. While your focus is rather open during mindfulness, and of course there are different exercises, but as I said, it's about observing and generally not taking part, flow requires a narrow and single-minded focus on the task. There are generally 3 levels of concentration that we can distinguish here. First, a wandering state of mind. Your focus is wide and open and you let your thoughts run freely. Second, a concentrated state of mind where one is focused on something and it's not that easy to distract you. And at the highest level, concentration is so automatic and effortless that one merges completely with the activity. Turns out, mindfulness has been associated with the intermediate level, while flow requires the highest level of concentration. It's still worthwhile to also integrate mindfulness into your mental fitness routine, because there are intervention studies showing that mindfulness can help people to find flow. You'll improve your self-awareness, thereby also becoming more aware of unproductive habits or thinking patterns. You learn to become less impulsive and improve your focus, all very valuable skills. We from Flow Lab, however, believe that it's not the only thing you should train when pursuing flow. It's also important to train a growth mindset, to build confidence, step out of your comfort zone, set ambitious goals, and continuously challenge yourself. When it comes to flow, it's actually a lot about finding the optimal balance. In this case, it's about being relaxed and self-aware, yet striving for improvement. And that's something that we've observed in our community as well, which makes us very happy that rather than adopting this non-striving attitude, they are ambitious go-getters seeking to best themselves, being brave to let go of patterns that don't serve them anymore, and showing grit and perseverance even when things get tough. That's why we think a more holistic approach is the way to go when training for peak productivity and flow. Combining mindfulness and breathing exercises with mindset training, reflection questions, and mental imagery. If you want a few examples of what that can look like in practice, check out our video on 3 tips to find more flow. Otherwise, we've reached the end of the video, so thanks so much for watching. If you learned anything new today, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. It always means a lot to us. Also, drop any questions you may have on the topic and follow us on social media. All the links are in the description box. Have a fantastic day and see you soon.